Welcome to the Raptors Show, brought to you by McDonald's Raptor Chicken Nacho Poutine. Blake Murphy and Matt Bonner with you, joined in studio for the first segment today by Jon Kabongo, former player turned Raptor. You may have seen him pop up on our Sportsnet broadcast intros. Jon, what's up, man? Thanks for doing this.
Man, I'm happy to be here. I'm really, really happy to be here. My bad if you guys can't hear me.
No, it's all right. It's all right. It takes an adjustment. Like I said, coming on, your posture is too good for the mic setup
time
here.
to lean in, yeah.
Matt, how you doing?
I'm good. Let's get into it. We got
All right.
an awesome guest. I can't wait.
Yes, and as luck would have it, a guest who knows a little something about today's top story. It's time now for the top story, brought to you by McDonald's Raptor Chicken Nacho Poutine. And the top story is the Pistons and Hornets really got into it last night. Jalen Duren and Moussa Diabate button foreheads after a bit of a hard foul. Miles Bridges gets involved. Isaiah Stewart comes running off the bench, Ultimate Warrior style. The Pistons win the game, so the Hornets lose their 9-game winning streak. Most relevant to the Raptors is that they play the Pistons tomorrow night, and I would imagine Isaiah Stewart is going to get a suspension. He has 47 career technicals, 12 career flagrant fouls, and has been suspended for 8 games total. I would imagine he's getting hit with a pretty good repeater.
Yeah, how much money has all that cost?
I have not calculated it, but a lot.
A lot.
He's not Draymond level. Jon, you watched this live.
I did.
That's what is your take, man? Things got out of hand in a hurry.
Honestly, it was a good game at first.
Yeah.
You know, like they were going at it. You could tell like there was a lot of tension in the arena. And I didn't know it was gonna escalate like that. And honestly, it's funny because you know Miles is one of my high school teammates. So it's just kind of like, you know, he gets a little competitive sometimes, and you know, he wants to jump in and make sure he's supporting his teammates. But yeah, I mean, definitely not the way you want it to go.
Was he getting
missing games?
Was he getting in fights in high school?
Nothing that a regular high-level high school team doesn't see, you know?
I got you.
You know, things just get heated in practices, just like everything else.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah, no, for sure. My observations from that fight, I thought it was hilarious, Duncan Robinson's reaction.
he just is
that's
over it.
Well, that's like 4 of the strongest dudes in the whole league.
That was funny.
And Duncan Robinson is just like,
He
yeah,
just walks away.
Yeah.
I'm having nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it's like Rey
I have
Mysterio
nothing to
in the Royal
contribute to
Rumble.
this. Yeah,
That
just
was funny.
resigned.
Yeah.
And then Charles Lee's like face in the background was hilarious. It was
My
like out
favorite
of a
part
movie.
was as things were settling and they're trying to like figure out what's going on. The Hornets mascot just like walks through the shot at one point too. Ridiculous stuff. And yeah, to the Raptors point, I mean, Matt, you might have a better handle on this, but I would imagine there are some suspensions coming, right? Given just
Definitely.
yeah. It's certainly Stewart. Like I would
Yeah.
bet everything that Stewart. He left the bench. We haven't seen a player leave the bench event in a while, and he is such a repeat offender.
No, he needs anger management.
It's bad.
He just snaps.
It's bad. It's bad.
Man, so I guess like the disappointing part of this is we talked with Garrett Temple yesterday. Tomorrow is supposed to be like a measuring stick for the Raptors. Oh, the Raptors are almost healthy. They haven't beat very many good teams. They're like 1-12 against top 10 teams. They get the Pistons, who are the best team in the East, and now they might not have their 2 big men.
And if Yak and CMB are out, which might happen tomorrow, what a lucky break if Duren and Stewart are also out. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you've been mentioning it over and over. That stat that I dug up about how many injured games the Raptors have played against.
Yeah.
B-ball Paul as the starting center tomorrow, maybe Paul Reed. Okay, that was the top story, brought to you by McDonald's Raptor Chicken Nacho Poutine with 100% Canadian raised seasoned chicken, nacho cheese sauce, and tortilla strips. Jon, we can get into it now.
Let's do it.
Couple games ago,
Yeah.
I'm actually, so this was the Knicks game
Yes.
that they played on the Wednesday, and I was shadowing Danielle because I'm doing a couple games of sideline, so I'm shadowing, and she's like, "Look at this! This is our intro for tonight," and she
Yeah.
shows RJ,
Yeah.
and it's Jon
Yeah.
Kabongo.
Yeah.
OMW is the
or
song.
as RJ called you, kabing bing.
It's crazy, man. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know if I cut you off. You could finish.
Do your thing, man.
Honestly, history behind that nickname. We're doing junior academy, right? When we're 8th grade, this is like, you know, training for everybody that like ended up being on that U16 team. But when we're like at least like what 13, 14, and it actually started just from me. Like we're all rapping, just having fun. We're all rapping, and yeah, I just came up with the name Kabing Bing as a joke, and everybody just thought it was hilarious. And then like they just It was specifically those group of people that always called me that. So for him to say it like on national TV, like made everyone go like, "Kabing bang!" Like, where did that come from?
In an interview with you. Your interview got
that's right.
interrupted
Yeah.
on like media day.
Yeah.
That's right.
To show it. So, man, this is the answer to this is going to be obviously it's very, very cool.
Right.
But you grow up a player,
Yeah.
you think that's going to be the career path for you,
Right.
and it doesn't go that way. But
Right.
now through your music, you get to be a part of an NBA broadcast. You get to
Yes.
do
Yes.
the intro song for a team that
Yeah.
you grew up
Yep.
watching. You've got the Sprite
Yep.
Zone Vision
Yep.
lyric
Yep. Yep.
in there.
Yep.
Man, tell us about how cool that felt, not only to do it, but to
Yeah.
see it a couple weeks ago.
Honestly, like, it was such a full circle moment, even given the fact that like RJ was the person that was introing me, because I didn't see it coming. But, and I tell you, true story, the producer that I worked on this song with, we did this, I think, mid 2024. I was like, this would be such a sick like intro song for the Raptors, like just the beginning of it, you know. And like he was like, yeah, like we should find a way to get it to them. And we put it out in 2024, you know, try to get it to people. It didn't really work out that way. And then here you go, a whole year later, the team just hit me up and they're like, hey, we're looking for some songs. You got any songs? And I sent them that song. They're like, perfect. See you next month. And I was like, wow, like, isn't this crazy? We literally talked about this when we made the song. And that was like the first time I ever worked with that producer too. So it's like, cool story for us, man.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's great. So, man,
I got a question.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So how did you go from pursuing basketball
Yeah.
to rap?
Okay, so as I told you, we always used to have like those little freestyle sessions, whatever. And I went to school in West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia, right? And so one of the things that we would do is just try to find ways to kill time because we're in Huntington, West Virginia, and no one's from there. We have practice, and after practice, there's nothing to do.
Is that where Marshall University is?
That is where Marshall University is.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to find ways to kill time.
You
there.
have to find something to do, you know, especially after like practice is done, you did your extra workout. So like one thing I did was with that money that you get from like the U16 team, I just bought studio equipment and I figured it out. And I just got super interested in like the making of music, and I would just like record all the time. And like my teammates would come, and it was just a passion, you know, it was passion. And, you know, I get into university, and like now I'm like a little bit more interested in just like the creative writing aspect. Like that's what I got my degree in.
Mhm.
So it was just like passion, and then basketball being what I want to do, dealing with injuries. You know, I had like a back injury going into college, and then get to college, kind of get through that. And then like I tore my labrum in my hip my first season, get a surgery thinking I'm going to recover. And then, you know, after, you know, my rehab and meetings with doctors, it was like, oh, like, yeah, this is a lot more damage than we thought it was, you know? And then luckily, like Virginia Tech, like they medically disqualified me. Like, you know, I kept my scholarship. I still there and finished my 4 years of college and graduated with my creative writing degree. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I still feel like basketball is part of my life. That's why I'm here. And I don't know if that was long-winded as an answer, but I think music has also always been in my life, and I'm just kind of living that in a different phase, you know?
Yeah, it's cool. It seems like almost like basketball was your life and music was the hobby, and then it kind of flipped.
Exactly.
Did
So-
music? This might be an obvious question, but did music help you emotionally
Yes.
when take the news that
Yes.
your first passion, basketball, was done?
100%. Because it was like it was a very long journey of injuries. So like I had like a 11th month injury in high school, and throughout that time like I was already kind of getting into it. So I kind of built that habit of like learning how to, I don't know, pass my time in another way. So by the time I got to university, like that was a little bit of, you know, an easier pill to swallow because I've already kind of trained myself to, like you said, like deal with my emotions, you know, in a creative way. So yeah, I definitely feel like it's one that it benefits. One benefits the other for sure.
So I know that you've tried to pay that forward a little bit, and last summer you spent some time with kids in Scarborough,
Yes,
kind of
yes.
trying to work through
Yes.
music and writing as a
Yes.
way to kind of, you know, learn self-expression and stuff
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about what that experience was like and why it was important for you to do that?
Man, it's like it's funny because I remember like the first 2 weeks, like none of the kids came, right? And I'm like, okay, are they ever gonna come? Like, what's going on? And then, one of like the community leaders was like, don't worry, they're gonna come. They're gonna come. We just have to like, you know, throw a barbecue or something. So we do that, and then they come, and they're so shy at first, and they act like, like I don't know if I want to like make a song, or like I can't make a song, or they're very like, I guess, um discreet about how much they actually want to express. And then once you get to that level where you kind of break the ice with them, they don't stop. It's like they just keep going, and all these ideas coming out. And now you have to like try to contain them. So it was funny, like having that experience with them, but it was also like really meaningful to just see kids that definitely have a lot to express. Been through a lot, seen a lot. Maybe just don't know how to express it, and are trying to figure out life and different things. So um, I'm hopefully gonna do that more, especially like when it comes to just helping. It's more so about like the helping aspect than it is about finding talent. Because
Right.
yeah,
Did you always know you were going to come back to the GTA to launch your music career?
no, I didn't. I actually thought that like I was probably gonna stay in the States, and yeah, it just didn't work out that way. But I think that's what needed to happen. Like looking back, I didn't know. Like it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna go back to Toronto, and like, but then like coming back and kind of going through the industry here, and just kind of like just being back home, friends, family, and just other people that I got to meet, just that I didn't know in the past. I think it's a whole different Toronto for me, but it's probably the Toronto I needed to experience as an artist, because I've always known Toronto as a basketball
Hmm.
player, right?
So
Does the hip hop community here support each other?
I think they do. I think it's so big. You know what I mean? It's like there's different pockets of it, and that's the one thing about Toronto. We have so much talent. It's like there's so many different worlds. Like, like there's a lot of veterans that are still very active. There's a lot of young talent, and there's so many like different subgroups of young talent. And then you have R&B, that's a very, very, very like strong part of the Toronto scene. So yeah, I think we still have a long way to go in terms of like building our stars. You know what I mean? But when it comes to talent, it's like it's there's a lot of that. And a lot of producers and artists are collaborating all over the place. So it's good to see as an artist and a consumer.
I've always seen it, and we've talked to Shad about this in the past, of like the rise of Canada basketball at the same
Yeah.
time, where like into like prior to Shea,
And
it was
shot
like,
clear.
it was like, oh,
Right.
there's like 20
Later.
NBA players now from Canada.
For
But
real.
maybe there wasn't
Yeah.
the star, and now Shea's broken through, and obviously
Yep.
that's all out the
Yep.
window because he's gonna repeat his MVP and stuff. So I know this is a little ahead because
Yeah.
it's more of a summer project,
Yeah.
but you're working on a new EP
Yes.
right now with a
Yes.
little bit of a basketball
A little bit of
influence.
a big basketball.
All right,
influence.
can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit about it?
All right, so I've been promoting it for some time. The title of it is John Nash. I'm a very, 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 very big just like basketball fan. Like I grew up playing basketball, so I grew up watching basketball, and I also like movies. And interestingly enough, like Steve Nash is point guard that I always liked, but he's also somebody that really likes movies. I don't know if people know that about him. Had like a production company and everything. So I like to approach my music and my projects as if they're movies. And one of the movie inspirations was A Beautiful Mind, and obviously John Nash is the main character of that. So it's kind of like a fusion of just Steve Nash, John Nash, but me, Jon Kabongo, being John Nash, like this like character in the story that's
Just picturing you with like a huge whiteboard working on your lyrics.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
like
man,
John
that's-
Nash
I-
with the formulas going everywhere.
100%. It's like it's fun. Like the best part about making music to me is just like the grand idea of the music of the project. So it was fun, man, and creating it, and it's definitely in its final stages. Very ambitious project, very big on just shooting for your goals, believing in yourself. Similar to a Canadian point guard in the '96 draft that actually did a lot more than people thought.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that. So you're what, 26?
Yeah.
So Steve Nash would have been like early, right? Like you got to
Yeah.
go back and watch
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
What is your era of like? And I know you've got the Sprite Zone reference. We were probably in the Sprite Zone at the same time. So what is your earliest era of like? Oh, this was my Raptors team that I remember. This is like my early fandom. Is it like if you're 26? Is it the Kyle and DeMar years? The
No.
early end of that? Okay,
No.
I don't know how young you're watching.
No. It's like because I feel like I was like a basketball kid.
Yeah. Okay.
So even when I was like a little kid, like I was still like going to games.
Okay.
You know, and I was still watching it on TV. And then you got video games, right?
Yes, of course.
You know, so I would say like 2006.
Okay.
Like that's
So like kind of post Vince, but
Bosh.
height of Chris Bosh. Okay.
Like I don't remember Vince.
Okay.
That I remember like hearing about it. Like, you know, obviously I was alive for it, but I don't remember that. But I remember going and watching, you know, those Bargnani, you know, those teams. Yeah, I remember that.
Man, you watched those Bargnani teams and you stayed a basketball.
I remember
fan.
the
hardcore.
I remember the commercials, everything, man. Yeah, I remember. That's my childhood.
Man, every time that brand of pasta sauce advertises that, because they still have commercials now. I'm just like, they should just run back you know how popular it'd be if they just ran back to Bargnani commercial?
Yep. No, that would be hilarious.
Primo pasta and sauce.
Shut up, Bargnani.
So there's all these Toronto basketball connections, obviously.
Yeah.
And you talk about the talent hip hop, the talent basketball. Blake referenced to in the crossover on the world stage. Your brother went to training camp with the Spurs in 2013, which I couldn't quite remember until we looked it all up and everything, and then it came back. But so that was cool. I got to play with your brother for a couple weeks in preseason and training camp. Yeah. Another guy, fellow Virginia Techian, or Hokie.
Sure.
There you
Fellow
go.
Hokie.
There you go.
First of all, Virginia Tech football intro is like the all-time best with Enter Sandman. Love that. But
Yep.
Nikhil Alexander Walker,
Yeah.
who came on the show with us, you played with him at Virginia Tech?
Yes, I did.
Did one of you recruit the other to go there or like help with that process? And then second question, like, did you see him becoming the player he's become at this point?
That's a great question because I feel like that's the part of his story that I like to talk about. So first, on the Virginia Tech side, I guess he helped. You know what I mean? I loved the coaching staff. Coach McNeely, he was from Canada too. Really loved Coach Buzz. And him being there was just like a plus because it's just a guy from Toronto that like I already knew from the past. We played like with and against each other at a young age, played a little AU together. So it's like, you know, already had a relationship with them. And honestly, I will say, Nikhil, from when he was in 6th grade, was always the most fierce competitor. Like, I loved matching up with him. Like, I loved playing with them. And, you know, it was the same thing when we were at Virginia Tech. And I will say that what I see now doesn't surprise me because he works so hard. Like, you know, he always was the first in the gym, you know, even when he was, you know, our leading scorer and everything. Like, he was first in the gym. He was always watching extra film, you know, and it's just when that's your friend doing that, it's like, well, you know what? Like, I have so much respect for that. Like, let me join in, you know, and that kind of built a relationship where I think maybe we didn't really have that when we were younger, you know, because we weren't at the same university, but just being such a admirer of his work ethic really, you know, made me, I guess, grow closer with him. And yeah, man, I'm not surprised at all because like I've seen the work that he puts in. I know how consistent he stayed when he first got in the league and it wasn't going his way. So for him to finally get his opportunity and to show up like that, like, I'm glad the world's seeing like the Nikhil I know, you know? So shout out my boy Nikhil.
It's great. It's and it was huge for our national team too.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be again next Olympic cycle. Before Virginia Tech, you mentioned the U16 teams a little earlier that you played on with RJ and with Andrew Nembhard.
Yep.
First of all, by the way, Andrew Nembhard
crazy.
Told me the other day, he's like, the ticket requests over the years still go up, and he says yes less and less often. Is this how you get into games now? You've got your connection of
It's crazy because sometimes you got to remind them like 3 hours before the game, like, yo, I didn't get my ticket. Oh, my bad, I got you. You know, because it's just so many people, you know. But I mean, honestly, like, I completely understand. They always show me love, you know, whenever they come to town. Like, you know, they make sure I could pull up. And if that's not the case, I'm always gonna go support. You know, like I just really like to see them at that stage, you know, especially because these are people that I actually grew up playing with. And, you know, we're actually not just from the same country, but like we've played on the same teams. We've always trained together. So it's good to see, man.
Coming up from that young of an age together, what's it like to see RJ not only at this level, but for the hometown Raptors?
Man, when he first got here, I'm like, I just hope that he stays. Like, you know, I think it's perfect for the Raptors. I think with all the NBA players we have, like, we need somebody from Toronto, you know, especially like somebody that could be like a starter for us because this is the best time to have that. So I'm glad it's RJ. You know what I mean? Like he's been showing up. I know he's been hurt, but when he's showing up, he's showing up. So that's what we need for him. And, you know, I just hope we keep him. That's all. And that's probably what Toronto needs too, in my opinion. It's good for the spirit of Toronto.
I got a question. So, as someone who watches a lot of basketball, who's your pick to come out of the East this season?
I think I'm always.
I know you're going to
listen.
You can't pick the Raptors.
I love the Raptors.
I'm taking the Raptors.
I love the Raptors. You know, I do think the Knicks got it. I do. I like the Knicks this year. I could see them making it out of the East this time.
It's you know what team's good when almost all the coverage has been negative and about the things that are going wrong, and they're second in the conference.
Well, they had the players only meeting, and they've won
Yes.
9 to 10, 10
Yeah,
11
they've
or
won a
something.
lot, and they picked that. Alvarado's going to be a good fit there and stuff. With respect to the Raptors, though, how do you feel about where they're at? Obviously, fifth in the East, won a couple in a row here. A tough schedule in March, so we'll learn a lot about them. But looks like we could have playoff basketball back in the city for the first time in a while. How you feeling?
And I've been watching a lot of their games this year. Went to I don't think I only went to one, but it's like I just like how we're competing. Like I like how Scotty's just like he's hungry, you know. It's like he wants to win. Bi is just such a hooper, like scores so effortlessly. Like, you know, RJ's obviously doing what he does. You know, I like E-Man's game. You know, and I feel like to me this is a Raptors team that I enjoy watching. You know, and I think that's probably the best way I could describe it. Like I like watching this team. I hope this team like sticks together a little bit and grows together because maybe they don't, you know, have a real chance this year. But I think if guys keep developing, we might have a chance.
I see you with the Wu-Tang shirt.
Yeah.
I was born in 1980. Don't tell Garrett. And so like 90s hip hop was when I came of age.
Yes, sir.
36 Chambers is a top 10 album for me.
Okay.
Like, what's your favorite era of hip hop, artists, inspirations, whatever?
Yeah. I would say my favorite era of hip hop is hard because I just love like every era. You know what I mean? And I feel like things kind of come back around in cycles. You know, like even today, I was actually listening to this album today. Like I was just listening to it all day just because, I don't know, sometimes I just kind of want to go back to that style, you know? And I think to me, what I love about at least the 90s especially was like, it was very pure rapping. Like, you know, like there was a lot of rap that just, and obviously you had like, you know, like your more crossover rap that was becoming more popular. But it was such a impactful era when it comes to just like straight lyricism and lyrical ability, MCing, like live performing. But I also love the 2000s. You know, I like some Ludacris, some Kanye, some Jay-Z in the 2000s. You know, some T.I. And then you have the 2010s with the J. Cole, Travis Scott, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, like all of these people. I feel like that had impact throughout. You know, I guess 2-3 decades that I've been alive. You know, but I don't know, like. I'm just a fan. So it's hard for me to answer. I don't want to sound like somebody that's stuck in the 90s because I'm not, you know, but I love the 90s.
It's definitely a parallel between music, especially the genre of hip hop rap and basketball.
Well, we're about to talk to David West in the next segment.
Everything's just constantly evolving and changing.
Yeah, we're going to talk to David West about like, hey, the 17-foot assassin, you probably would have been the biggest pick and pop 3 threat.
That's right.
Now the game stays the same, but you got to evolve with it. John.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't checked it out yet, they can go back and watch the Sportsnet intro that you did. on your Instagram, Jon
Yes.
Kabongo, on your
Yes.
YouTube, Jon Kabongo.
Yes, sir.
The Sportsnet channel's posted as well, but you'd have to scroll back so far now, so better to go to yours.
Okay.
Really appreciate you doing this, man.
Yes,
Was
sir.
so cool to see you pop up on the
Yes.
intro. Really enjoyed it.
Yes,
and
sir.
really enjoyed this, man.
Appreciate you guys having me here. I don't know if there's anything left, but I mean, I think on my end, I just really, really hope that people just stay on the lookout. That's all I'll say. You know, very exciting things. And
John Nash 2026. Keep
Yes,
an eye out
sir.
this summer.
And you know, we also have music in the past, so you can
course.
go back. You know, you can go back and you can listen, but definitely a lot of things to look forward to for sure.
Cool. Well, really appreciate it, John.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
coming on.
Appreciate it, man.
That was Jon Kabongo. We're going to take a break. On the other side, we're going to talk to David West, someone who played with Matt Bonner and won a couple championships with the Warriors until the Raptors ruined their chance of a three-peat. David West joins us on the other side as the Raptors Show continues with Blake Murphy and Matt Bonner.